Hello, my name is David Brown. Currently, I'm a fifth year senior here at AIC, and today I'll be reading my Lake narrative essay. I'm a part of Professor William Steffen's environmental literature class. Wake up. Fill out daily COVID-19 form. Wait in your room. Start class, look at computer screen. Class is over, and now practice begins. An azure sky September can go a long way when the world around you is falling apart. It will remind you of the innocence of the world, days when masks were an afterthought. Sporting events could be at maximum capacity, and there wasn't a looming perpetual fear over the world. This is how the world works due to COVID-19. Many have adjusted, and many still feel the need to keep conservative traditions and practices, drawing this alienated split between what's good and wrong. Looking up at the clouds as they whisk away throughout the sky, weightless, without a clear purpose or sense of direction, you yearn for this, and for one moment, wish to be a part of that same sky. However, gravity limits your plans to just an idea, and on that exceptionally warm fall day, decide to travel to Chicopee Memorial State Park, or the lake. You've never been to a lake before. You're just a kid raised in the suburbs. It's all highways and parkways, bustling street traffic, and corner stores. Then occasionally over the summer, you take a trip down to the shore. The beach is packed, the sand is hot, and there's a lifeguard at every post. That's a traditional summer day in New Jersey. It was 84 degrees that day. Fresh from a tedious week of workouts, your teammates decide they need a day to get away, giving us that idea. You leave Friday afternoon, packed a few sandwiches from your auxiliary dining common, The Hive, and began your road trip. The goal was to get away from Springfield. From point A to B, it was 25 minutes, and for the most part, aside from State Street and the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, the beauty of Western Massachusetts is commonly overlooked. Something catches the attention of your unsuspecting eye. A diner idly sits in the parking lot of a gas station. At first, you question the principle of putting a diner in a gas station, but then a sense of aesthetic takes over. Aside from a Denny's, your classical family diner doesn't exist in Massachusetts. So seeing it left you with a more homely sensation. The ride becomes less tense, and before you know it, suddenly you arrive at the lake with a newfound enthusiasm. There are only two roadways to the state park, one for entering and vice versa for leaving. And as you travel deeper into the park, the scenery begins to change. The fall season in full effect, and the pine tree leaves vary from green to the occasional red leaf wisping in the wind. And just as the narrow roadway begins to feel endless, suddenly a parking lot entrance appears. A wooden bulletin board awaits you with the various park guidelines, and in big, bold letters, it states the park closes at 3:30. On your right appears to be a picnic area with a grill on standby for cooking. There's a lot of tables, so the park obviously gets quite a few locals on any given day. But that September day, it was empty. Some of your teammates wondered if it's abandoned or is ever used. Luckily for you, the abandoned barbecue conversation was cut short by spotting this enormous teal body of water. You aren't used to seeing bodies of water, in fact, only the ocean. So suddenly, as you take a deep breath, a feeling of surprise takes over you. The water isn't filled with a classic salty smell. Suddenly a sign pops up saying no alcohol in the beach area, but you're curious to what beach is being mentioned. You're used to expensive boardwalks with roller coaster rides and restaurants. Here, none of that exists. It was plain, as far as the eyes can see, but in the far distance seems to be a dam. To your left was the woods and walking trail, then suddenly shift from gravel to sand. To your right is teammates thinking about immediately jumping to the water, as it was a hot day. As your teammates get settled on the beach area, you decide to take a hike on the trail. Quarantining for 3 months has left you with wanting to explore, to see more of Earth in its more natural state. The trail leads you closer to the dam, and with the occasional local being spotted throughout the park, you begin feeling completely submerged in nature. The birds are chirping, squirrels scrummage for whatever nut or berries potentially on the ground, and you spot the owner of a Siberian husky walking her dog. Just before you arrive to the dam, a plaque pops up, written out to the Boy Scout troop who built the steps leading to the lower reservoir. At first, you wondered who put the steps in such a subtle location, as most of the swimming is done in the beach area. However, the lake has a different set of rules. You obviously are accustomed to. The more questions you ask, the more leads to be discovered. You arrive at the dam and are left surprised by the walkway suddenly disappearing. All that's left is a grassy path with a rail. The lower part of the reservoir isn't deep, and this path is in fact was man-made. There isn't water on the other side of this dam. It's almost like a sudden ditch. And if the lake doesn't overflow, the future could be deemed pointless. This lower reservoir fauna is left completely untouched, as they're required to climb down this storm drain. And straight ahead lies a staircase to the other side of the lake where fishing is a common activity. But that adventure must be set aside for another day. As you stand there, astonished by this hidden Western Massachusetts beauty, the sky is cloudless, the sun is shining, and the lake is calm, held in by this dam, almost like its guardian protector. The lake is seemingly at the mercy of this large dam, providing a natural shield that has only one crack that eventually leads to the lower reservoir. But the beauty in it all is knowing that nothing else can pass through or filter in this dam. It was specifically built for this lake and reservoir. Upon leaving and walking back from the trail, the dam has a magnifying feel. Though you stood on it, a feeling of big or small is downplayed by the total area. And as you walk closer towards the beach area, the dam awaits another visitor, standing tall in its glory. No leaks or cracks, just a thin strip of grass used to walk across. Whether you're stargazing late at night or sliding down the hill by the storm drain, the dam alone could be a single attraction. You found this new sense of calm from traversing through the trail and finally reaching the dam. And as you walk past the cryptic Boy Scout steps and the half-open bathhouse, you manage to make it on the beach, where the sand has a surprisingly cold feeling. The sand never felt dry, and at any point you could build a sandcastle with this beach clay. It's almost comforting knowing that beach sand isn't hot and very manageable. You look up towards the lifeguard chair and find it empty. This was the spot your friend agreed on converging. The beachfront is empty and has become a personal playground. Tight football spirals whistle through the air as you try adapting to this new terrain. Slowly but surely, the paths get closer to the lake, and before you know it, your feet dip in. The sensation is unusual. Instead of the push and pull of a wave, you sink in. Roughly an hour has passed since you visited the dam, and by the time you reach the lake waters, the sun begins to hover over you. This natural halo radiates over you, causing you to go deeper. A sudden healing property comes over your body from this cold, saltless water contrasted by the heat. This natural baptism cleansed you of any negative energy going into the week. You're now rejuvenated mind and spirit. An ecstasy effect takes over as you enjoy truly the bliss of nature. The ducks start quacking, and to no surprise, they are on the hunt for food. Far in the distance, a group of kids casually sit on the cliff, fishing, and for a moment, the world stood still. Everything was calm. There was no honking or car horns or engines. The natural environment was in complete control. As you look over the horizon, deer grazed eating the grass and what looked like hydrangea. What felt like only minutes became hours of you sitting in this spring-filled oasis, reminiscing on previous games and experience, bringing a level of excitement and enjoyment towards conversations. Your time runs out, dragging yourself through this murky green lake, finding your towel thoroughly refreshed. The horizon begins to seem a lot vaster. The lake is surrounded by trees as far as the eye can see, leaving a rainbow of color to behold. Once exiting the water, due to it being a peculiar day in September, suddenly, you remember that azure sky and that sensation of whisking away in the breeze like a cloud. A transformation awaits you. The fears of COVID-19 become a sudden thing of the past. And in that moment, the innocence of the world finally took over, with Mother Nature as its new ruler. You are left in awe of this hidden gem as peace wavers through your mind. Excitement overtakes you, wondering how many potential summertime moments could potentially be made here. You walk back to the car with this new peace of mind, with a new level of confidence enveloping your body. This week comes with many challenges, but you've accepted that burden with a fearless need to conquer goals. The fear of the world went away. The need for wearing a mask or having a social distance vanished within a blink of an eye. A structure built in the 1800s to provide the native residents of Chicopee water has now become your habitat. You truly begin to appreciate and value nature, wondering the potential damage on a lake ecosystem by the various human encounters. A fun day of fishing could have led to a longer search for food on the ducks' behalf, or how deforestation could lead to those deers not getting a moment to eat hydrangeas. However, another blink leads you back to the city of Springfield, except without a feeling of dismay or worry, but tranquility, as you no longer yearn to be a cloud.